Hey, this is DeAndre Ford, and you're listening to Worship Radio International.
One, go.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to BizTalk with DeAndre. And I'm your host, DeAndre Ford. And today we got a special guest that we're going to talk to a little later. We got a chef. Food. We know how we like food on BizTalk with DeAndre. Yeah, you know, I like to go around trying different foods, and you're the guy in the hot seat today.
Let's do it.
Chef Omar. We're going to check out Chef Omar today. But we always start out with affirmations. A little FYI for people, what's going on in the city. And a lot of business owners out there. Or there are some that want to be business owners. So we got to give them some tips. So hopefully everybody had a great week. And it's getting kind of chilly out here, man. This fall is here.
Oh, man. It was raining today, too?
And the rain. Like I say, I work in the field, so it's like I got the cold and I had the rain, and tomorrow is a concrete day, so they're gonna be pouring some concrete.
Ooh,
yeah. So it's like and we got a phone call.
Put your phone on
All
vibrate,
phones
man.
on vibrate.
Come on,
Kiera Canty, my niece. I'm on the show. You should be watching me. Let me turn my ringer off. Sound like last night at church, man.
You have two phones?
Yeah, man.
Man, you're important.
Hey, Biz Talk for DeAndre and personal and yeah.
Sure.
We have fun here on the show, man.
That's right.
So again, you're here. I don't want anybody that's all stiff and, you know, I got an audience out here.
I can do. How many people do you think are watching?
Wait. It grows exponentially. And
Okay.
they're rolling in. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get on today. I'm going to get on here so you can contact me personally with any questions or any hellos or whatnot that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and plug myself right on in. And how we do this here. Hey, I don't even see me on there. Wait. All right. So.
Can they ask any question?
Yeah, I got a good any question.
Right. Cool.
So hopefully everybody had a great week and you're enjoying it. Today is Hump Day Wednesday. So we're almost over to the weekend, man. It's almost weekend.
It's there. It's coming.
And of course they can come by and try some of this food we're going to be talking about today.
Not this weekend, they can't.
Oh, not this weekend?
No, we're closed on the weekends.
Oh, close on the weekend. What? That's going to be changing? That's going to be changing?
Yes, next month.
Next month.
Next month.
So we're going to get into the good stuff in a minute.
All right.
But it's a positive show. Got a positive guy like myself. I like to give positive affirmations. We speak these things every week. Every Wednesday, we speak affirmations.
Speak it into existence.
Speak it into existence. Just like that business that you got. You got food trucks. You got a business, a brick and mortar location. Mm-hmm. I'm quite sure you probably spoke those things. You wrote them down.
You know, I actually have my affirmations written on my bathroom mirror so that I see them every morning when I wake up. First thing when I go to like brush my teeth and do my hair, that's the first thing that I see is my affirmations written in my bathroom mirror.
That means you've been watching Biz Talk with DeAndre.
Is that what you do with them?
Yes. And I tell them you can put them on your bathroom mirror. Yeah. You can put them. I've even had them on my ceiling in my last home. I had them in my ceiling, so when I went to bed, I read them.
Look up and see them.
And when I woke up in the morning, I saw them and I read them.
I'm not that alert when I'm awake. No.
So you're a perfect candidate to be in that hot seat right there.
Let's do it.
In the interview seat.
Heck yeah.
All right, here we go. We're going to do some affirmations. First one today is, this is perfect for it. Today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. I got joy, man. I got joy. I'm happy.
Happy, joy.
Happy, joy. You're happy. You're joyful. Despite what you're going through, you keep on saying this each day. Hey, I'm brimming. Today, I'm brimming with energy. You know, not that, I got to go to work. I got to get up this morning. I'm sick. Oh, I'm sick and tired of going to work. So again, just like we're doing these positive affirmations, you can speak those negative things into existence as well.
That is correct.
So today, you are brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Again, joy. Now, this is another good one. My body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, and my soul is tranquil. It's nothing like peace, man. Nothing like peace. Can't put a price tag on it.
No, you cannot.
And our health. If we don't have our health, We don't have anything. We can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health,
doesn't do you any good. Can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you. So again, speak that. My body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, and my heart and my soul is tranquil. What's another one I want to pull off of here today? Again, forgiveness. A lot of folks are bound up with unforgiveness. Don't like to forgive. So today, we're going to say, I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. I love you from a distance, but I can't continuously go through the same thing where I'm constantly getting hurt. Constantly you're doing something, or I just can't forgive you. Nah, you got to speak to yourself. You got to tell yourself, I forgive those who have harmed me in my past, and I peacefully detach from them. Peace. None of this bickering, fighting, all this other stuff. No, peace. Then, after that, a river of compassion washes away my anger and replaces it with love. Love, love, love. We need more love, man. Even when I was over there at your place. Yeah. I mean, just the atmosphere. And again, we're going to talk about, too, because you could easily pass it by, and it's like, where's this place at? All of a sudden, you get in there, and again, everything that's on the wall, the tablecloth there, everything, and it just gives you peace. And then with the food, we just got to talk about love, and it's like love goes into the food.
On a plate. Yes,
when you
sir.
prepare it. Gave him a plate yesterday, and I'm like, wow. And I like to eat, so I'm like trying to just savor it all. But it was love. And that's just like something like your grandparents or something. If you had grandparents or even your mom in the kitchen and they're just loving what they do, someone like you can taste that love that went into it.
Like we were saying before, it doesn't matter even if you have my exact recipe.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you can replicate it and make it the same way. Even if I tell you step by step how to do it, there's just that little extra something that goes into a dish.
Love, that little bit of love. Again, you have the exact same recipe, step by step, and you just putting it together, no care, no worry, no nothing. Doesn't taste like that one that was prepared with love, and it's just something about it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, So going back to that key word here. A river of compassion washes away my anger. Because you might be angry at maybe, like we were talking today, maybe what you went through today, had one of those bad days and you're just angry. You could have been.
There's no reason. Really, there isn't. I mean, that's a part of, for people who want to own a business or people that want to achieve anything worth having takes work, and no success in this world comes without some sort of trials or tribulation. Yeah. Right?
That's life.
That's life.
That's life.
That's life.
There's going to be some
It's
trials,
not about what happens to you. It's about how you react to what happens to you.
Again, I'm quite sure we've all been knocked down, but it's like you got to get back up.
That's right.
And these affirmations help you with that because it retrains your mind. If you're used to just staying down there or you figure you can't get back up, you keep saying these things over and over, you start to believe it. Next thing you know, you get knocked down. Hey, I'm getting right back up.
That's right.
I hit it. Okay, my business was down or something happened in my business, I'm getting back up. But again, you have to get to that point. So these are just taking those baby steps. Now, a couple more, again, for business owner. I'm quite sure you can attest to this one here or relate to it. My business is growing, expanding, and thriving. Is that not what business owners want?
That is exactly what they want. And so a lot of it comes back into not just speaking things into existence, but your actions matching. Everybody, one of my favorite people on earth says, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody today wants to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. But nobody wants to do the work that it takes to get there. Because, you look at the richest people in the world that are entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. The owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He used to be a financial guy, and people used to go home from the office, come back in the morning, and he'd still be in his office all night long doing the work. still wearing the same suit he was wearing the night before. He'd sleep for 45 minutes on his couch in his office, and he'd be back up doing it again the next day. Those are the sacrifices in the work that matched his words to create the success that he has. Everybody wants to own a restaurant. I'm in my restaurant at 3 a.m. every day making fresh bread.
You told me that yesterday. I'm like, man, 3 o'clock. And like I said, when I saw you, it was like after 5.
Yeah.
I came in after
18-hour days is normal for me.
18-hour days.
Because that's what it takes.
But you get gratification, and it's yours. And you put in the hours. So as being an entrepreneur or a business owner, you're going to work for it, right?
You're going to work for it. Exactly. But, and it all comes back down to, what do you define as success? I am really unique. I, in my life, have never, ever cared about money. Money is not a motivator for me. Money does not drive me in any way, shape, or form. When I serve somebody a plate of food and I see them take a spoon of it and like try to shove it in their friend's face, like, dude, you got to try this. This is so good. That is all the satisfaction that I need. It's not about, everybody defines success differently. It's what is your definition of success? Right. Because, I'll tell you what, there are guys making $30,000 a year working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and they're the happiest people on earth.
There you go.
Because they're successful in their eyes. They have what they want, and they acknowledge that. They're not hungry for more. And where does it get them? Because they're sacrificing their health to get it. They're sacrificing all these other things to get
Family.
it. Exactly. And then, all right, I got my $1 million, but I'm sitting here alone by myself. What are you going to do with it?
And you have those who, again, have the 6 figures and everything, but are miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it all depends on you. And you got to know what your priorities are and what you're doing it for. Again, they always say, would you do it if you didn't even get paid for it? You got to have a love for it, a passion for it. And I can tell you have a love and a passion for food, preparing food. And, again, to make people smile and to love. We talked about the love you put into a meal.
Mm-hmm.
So, going back to that right here for business, my business is growing, expanding, and thriving. So keep on saying that. Post that up. Put it in your business. Put it on your desk. Put it on your phone. So maybe make it a screensaver or something, or maybe something that you can just put in there and you can always bring it up when you want to and see it and speak it.
They should put it on their bathroom mirror.
Bathroom mirror. He's kind of biased. Oh, we got some folks on here. Baraka, how you doing? Carol, I just saw her today. I had to get some new toothpaste, man. Charcoal toothpaste.
Carol? I know Carol.
Carol Kleiman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know Carol.
Well, now you know her. I just introduced. Hey, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, here's Chef Omar. She did say she was going to watch. I told her, got that Moroccan food, man. So I did talk to her today.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's Francis Walker's, Kathy's Page, Irene Eldridge, my cousin. And we got Carmen Evans, Yvonne Ford, my mom. She's watching.
Hi,
how
Mom.
You doing? Sandra Epps, better known as I call her Super Sandy. She needs a helicopter, man. She does face painting. And I saw her last week, and she was downtown face painting for the kids. And she does a butterfly event. She does a doll show event.
She's probably super busy. It's almost Halloween.
Woo. Yeah. There she go. Wales said, I have a passion for empowering women and children to love the skin they're in by putting smiles on their faces. Again, you got to love what you do.
You have to.
Again, you can want to be a business, start a business, but you got to have the passion. You got to love it. Like I say, I love talking to people. So I got a podcast show. And here you are.
That's right.
So we got to go ahead and have a passion for it. So let's get back to 2 more, and then we want to get into, matter of fact, this here relates to you. So then we're going to
do it.
Creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. I'm quite sure with you, creativity, and you have something that just sparks, and you're like, let me try this here. And you come up with something new. Am I right, bro?
No, that's absolutely 110% correct. Creativity is one of those things where it's not something that you have to actively be working towards it. It's not something where, for some people it's just a light bulb that sparks.
Right.
It's never like that for me. It's an active process at all times where, I spend most of my money eating out. Like, why are you always eating out? Where are you going? I'm like, I'm trying this guy's food. I'm trying that guy's food. Because there's not a dish on this earth that I'm going to create that doesn't already exist. But I can take the flavors that I really like from this place and the flavors that I like from this place and kind of do my own take on it. And that's a part of that whole creative process. Not only that, but like before, that chicken sandwich that you love, it's been through, or the potatoes, better yet.
Oh, those are.
The
You gotta try the
potatoes.
potatoes. You gotta try the potatoes.
The potatoes from day one at the restaurant to the potatoes now, I mean, they've changed like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, wow.
I cooked potatoes for dinner every day for like 3 months to like get the perfect potato. And it was inspired. I was inspired by one guy, and then it just tweaked, and I was like, oh, I need a better sauce. And then I was like, I need a crispier potato. And it just constantly evolved itself. But that's what creative energy is, right?
Wow, that's it, creative. And as a business owner, you want to make sure that you check out your competition. Go out there and see what's happening. Like he said, he tasted different restaurants and came up with something else. Grab something from here, grab something from there to come up with your own.
Yep.
So,
now, sorry, I have to cut you off 1 second because that is
no, this is my
something-
show. You can't cut me off.
I do what I want.
Whoop, mic done. Out.
That is the biggest mistake people make, is comparing themselves to other people. You are your, and people call me cocky as all get out because of this. You are your only competition. You are the only person that can stand in your way. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. If you're doing good things and putting out good product and good service, yes, you want to eat out and see what other people are doing.
Yeah.
But the last thing you ever want to do is go out and be like, oh man, their sandwich is better than mine. And then it's just this snowball of negative energy, which you
can't
know
look at it that way,
which
yeah.
you don't want to. Be like, wow, I was just in Chicago a couple of weeks ago with my fiance, and we went to this restaurant, and we were just like, wow, the service here is ridiculous. And so I didn't get down on that. I was like, man. And I started watching servers and what they were doing, what the process looked like. And then I immediately went into my head, how can I implement these things in my place?
Yep.
But not exactly how they're doing it in a way that works for what we do. So,
Right. So he's right and I'm right on that. Yeah. Depends on how you look at it. Oh, we got Bonita Carey Powers. How you doing? Welcome. And Melvin Claxton. Oh, my buddy Melvin. Yeah, this guy, he's a genius, man. He wrote for some of the biggest newspapers. And then he got his own video game. It's the Bible. Now he's taking the reports that they had that were going back with Trump and everything and all this, and he's put it into a video that you can just go online instead of trying to figure this stuff out. It's for the everyday person or even a kid can check it out. And he does. They say the guy is awesome. I got to talk to you, Melvin.
yeah, Mel, where are you at?
Claudia, how you doing? Oh, that's Shanada. She was on here at 4 o'clock. She has a program on here talking about credit.
Was she wearing a onesie?
No, that was Kay. She was right before her. Yeah, that was the creative workshop with Kay Bowen, who was right before me.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, we talked about creativity. So again, that last affirmation is creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. So that's what we're going to end with our affirmation. Again, I got to make sure I get those out every day that we're here. And then I want to do an FYI. Now, October the 17th. Today is what? The 16th. So tomorrow, the 17th.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Yes.
I remember mentioning it last Wednesday. Brenda Jones, council president, and council member Janae Ayers, they're going to be having a small business empowerment fair tomorrow. It's a look into retail and commercial corridors.
Is that the one with University of Michigan?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say on here. Yeah, it's just...
So that means there's 2 going on tomorrow.
Maybe 2.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the city of Detroit. So it just says, do you need assistance finding your perfect business location and grant funding? So again, so don't miss our next resource fair, which is tomorrow, October 17th, from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. And it's located at Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church, 2080 West Grand Boulevard. That's right at the corner of Grand Boulevard and Grand River. See the big church right there.
Is that District 4?
Let me see. I'm not sure which district Janae is in.
By the way, if you own a business in Detroit, they're set up in districts. You should really know, A, who your councilman is. B, they have small business development professionals that are there to help assist you grow your business. We're in District 5, I believe, and Lynn Wiggins is ours. Small business development guy.
Yeah.
He is amazing. Great guy. You know, I have problems. I have this. He's constantly sending me workshops. There's a workshop tomorrow. That's why I asked, is it the one from U of M? Because they're holding one tomorrow as well.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, lots of that is their job, is to help you grow your business. And they have a lot of tools that, that we just don't have.
Yeah. And that's why you got to listen to Biz Talk with DeAndre. If you're a business owner, you're looking to be a business owner, or just to be in the know, where you can pass on information. Matter of fact, I mentioned that last Wednesday on the show, and I told everybody who the liaisons were and the districts.
Oh, cool.
I had a card. I don't have my bag with me today. I was going to pull it out real quick. But, yeah, all the different districts and the liaisons and the information, they're a resource that you can use.
They definitely are. And they're a valuable resource, for sure.
And here's somebody who have used the resource that we were talking about last week. So it works. Next, we got a citywide soup. Each last couple programs I've been kind of sharing with you about the soup. And now this one, I believe it's the last one of the year as well. It's a citywide soup. And it's November the 17th, which is a Sunday. And it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the location is at the Jam Handy. I always want to say Jim. The Jam Handy, which is at 2900 East Grand Boulevard. Against a white building on East Grand Boulevard. And that's usually where they have a lot of them at. But the main one that's coming up is going to be there on November 17th, which is a Sunday. And for those who don't know, I'll just simply read it for you. Fund your Detroit community project with support from your neighbors. Anything from filling a pothole to funding a class, field trip, to starting a new business. Doors and Build-A-Bazaars at 5 p.m. and the presentation starts at 6. Usually it's $5. Some of them it might go to 10, but it's like $5, and that gets you a soup, salad, bread, or usually it might be a potluck. They'll bring other food, and then you kind of network, and then from that point, there are going to be some, usually 5, I'm not sure how many on here, but they're going to pitch their business and why they think what they need the monies for, and then you get to vote. So that $5 gets you some food, some networking, and a vote. So then you vote, and then that winner gets that pot. And again, it's so much bigger than that because there's so many people there that you can network with.
But it goes back to being positive and people going, well, I don't vote because I can't change anything, or I don't. But these are the types of events where these are the people that are actually not saying those things. They're actually going out and finding a way to make things happen. And these are the people that when you want to surround yourself with positivity, these are the people you want to be around. People that are like, they don't use excuses, they find solutions.
I love
right?
I love that. Find a solution. A lot of people complain.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing to fix it?
Solutions.
Don't come to me with problems. Come to me with solutions.
And what I like about this as well with the soup, okay, you do a presentation or a pitch, you don't win, but again, you got the networking, you can find other connections, and best to me, it's like practice. You get better and better, and then you can ask some folks to give you some positive criticisms.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have did that way, or you had to project more, or again, they can just tell you some different things that you can do to make it better. Again, you just keep on going. You just do better. We got a lot more on here. We got Jacqueline McCullum. How you doing? Molly Carver. Oh, man, she's watching all the way from Iowa. I remember she used to live in Michigan. She lives in Iowa now. Yeah. Edwin Ratliff. He's down there in Texas. That's my buddy from Houston. Keisha Ford. Oh, my wife was watching. Hey, Keisha. Yesterday was our anniversary, man. Matter of fact, I had to leave out of your place. I told you I had to go.
Yeah.
My anniversary.
Did you?
What? Yeah, I got the flowers.
Okay, good man.
Yeah.
Good man.
I got 2 bouquets of flowers.
What were you making up for? What was the second one for?
I just like to overdo it. Just like you're cocky and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like to take care of my wife. So I had the flowers and I had dinner.
You're making me look bad right now.
Yeah. Oh, man. Love you. Tanya Calloway, Ron, and ID. Yeah, that's Prophet Blaine Irving's wife. They just had an anniversary, matter of fact, a couple days ago. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the day before ours. Hey, honey, how you doing? Yeah, so we're having fun, but now I think that's the last one that I had here. Oh, Kiva. I want to make a shout out to Kiva here. Kiva Build Institute. Again, if you're looking for a loan, it's I believe a 0% interest loan.
Oh, nice.
And what it is, you get different. Matter of fact, a buddy of mine who I went to Michigan State with would go, yeah, but then they lost a couple games, man. So anyway, Michigan State, yeah, Stacy Williams, he connected with me. Matter of fact, he has a food truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
which truck?
I don't know. Barbecue to go. That's it. Barbecue to go.
You know, when I started, there was like maybe a handful of us. Now there's over 200 trucks. People are like, have you heard of this truck? And I'm just like, I can't keep track of them anymore. I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, and that's what I love. That I'm getting to the question. I love about what's happening in Detroit, where now there's a variety. It's like a fresh air of different foods. Usually, I got to go to different cities out of the state when I go, and I'm always looking for different restaurants. Mm-hmm. But now with the food trucks, and it's becoming a thing. They even got a show on TV with the food trucks and everything.
Oh yeah.
So now a lot of people are getting exposed to them, man. And so it's a lot of opportunity. So Kiva, again, it's an online peer-to-peer lending and borrowing platform. Kiva Detroit is a partnership between Kiva.org and Build Institute to support small businesses in Detroit and engage Detroiters as community leaders. Kiva Detroit represents Kiva's first local community organized effort in the United States. So again, it empowers Detroiters to champion, to lend to small businesses in Detroit as low as $25. So again, collectively, nice. 25, mm-hmm. And then you get a little interest back on that, but you're helping a small business person get started.
That's awesome.
So, welcome to BizTalk with DeAndre, and I'm your host, DeAndre Ford. Check us out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And we're on Worship Radio International. So I'm loving it here, man, and I want to get into this interview real quick here.
Let's do it.
Let's see what time we got. Make sure we got 2 hours now.
All right. I'll talk your ear off.
Oh, man. All right, let's get here. Let's see. Matter of fact, I got some here for you right here.
All right,
First of all, how did you get started in, the restaurant business, the industry?
Man, I always knew I wanted to be a chef, even when I was a little kid. But I grew up in restaurants, so I started as a dishwasher at my parents' restaurant.
As a dishwasher, you worked
dishwasher at 13 years old, man. As soon as I could reach it, I was washing dishes. And then I moved up through and was doing the pastries there. And one day this guy was like not at work. So they're like, Omar, come in here and cook burgers. And I was like, okay. So I'm cooking burgers. But that whole rush of, 15 orders and everyone's waiting for food and I'm trying to juggle 30 things out. Wow. That stress, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is awesome. I need this and that 8-hour shift goes by faster than you can blink when there's just tickets flying the whole time. It was awesome. So from there there was just no going back, and I just kind of moved up through the ranks, went and did the fine dining thing, spent some time at Michael Simon's Roast, worked at the Townsend Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Those are the local things here in Metro Detroit that I've done. And here we are today.
Wow. Now where are you from?
I was born in Rockville, Maryland. So, I lived in the suburbs of D.C. until I was like 12. And then we moved here my freshman year of high school, and Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, GR.
Kentwood, yeah. And so I went to high school there, and then ended up going to community college there, and then I ended up out here. And
oh, wow. And chef just took off.
Well, yeah.
Now, Saffron Date. How did the name come about? And it's Moroccan food. Matter of fact, I believe there's only Moroccan restaurant in Detroit.
Yes. So the closest Moroccan restaurant to our location is in Ypsilanti.
Oh, wow.
Actually. Yeah. So for us, when I went to open the restaurant, we discussed what kind of food we want to do, and originally we were going to do an Asian restaurant, and the last 20 restaurants to open downtown were all Asian restaurants, and so it was one of those things where we looked at it and we were like, that's not going to work, and I said, well, let's go back to my roots and do what I know how to do. But the problem therein lies is there is no differentiation right now in Arabic food or Middle Eastern food or anything that looks or sounds like shawarma. It's automatically lumped into that Mediterranean category, and that's what that is. And so I wanted to do something different. And because I'm French trained, I wanted to kind of execute some of that and utilize that in the cooking that we did. But Morocco, when I spent some time there, was absolutely amazing because they were occupied by the French for a short term. They have a lot of Spanish influence. They were the end of the spice trade. So the Arabs used to go to India and get the spices and bring them back up through North Africa and cross over into Europe and sell them to the Europeans. And so they are a predominantly Muslim country with ties to the Middle East. So a lot of people see a lot of their dishes, they're like, oh, that's Middle Eastern food. No. But they're far west enough in Africa to where you'll see a lot of influence from West Africa and a lot of European influence that didn't necessarily penetrate Middle Eastern cuisine. Even Egyptian cuisine didn't get penetrated by some of that stuff. So I absolutely fell in love with the concept of doing something unique that didn't exist. However, every place that I have seen open as of late has been a burger joint or a pizza joint or and I didn't want to be that. If it was a matter of money, we'd be making hand over fist as a burger joint or a soul food joint because of our location, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something unique. I wanted to do something special that didn't exist, and I wanted to teach people the flavors that I absolutely love. Because you go back 10 years, when you would go out for sushi, right? People go, oh, you went and had Chinese takeout. No, I had sushi. Or, oh, I went and had pho. Oh, you had Chinese takeout. Everything was Chinese takeout. But now people completely understand the difference between Vietnamese food, and there's this awesome pop-up called Sirap. And they do Filipino food. So now Filipino food has a voice. And there's
is that in the gallery?
No, they do pop-ups all over the place. Really, really cool pop-up. Great chefs. But then you have, people understand the difference between Japanese and Chinese cuisines and Italian. And so there's now this understanding, and people don't just say, oh, you went and had Chinese takeout anymore. And so I wanted to kind of teach people that, hey, there's more to Mediterranean food than just shawarma, Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was going to bring that up later. I like shawarmas, but I've learned that you all have a different twist on the shawarma. It's not your Lebanese, but what flavors do you have?
So Morocco's number one export is oranges.
Oranges, yeah.
So their oranges are absolutely amazing there. And so when you look at their marinade, the marinade is very citrus heavy. And so when we make our shawarma, it has a lot more. We don't use sweetener like some of the other Middle Eastern countries do. We use orange juice as our sweetener. So we, as you know, we make everything from scratch. So we puree oranges and lemons and make our own marinade. And so that's the other thing, is that people don't understand that as good as shawarma is, it's going to taste different in Lebanon than it does in Palestine, than it does in Jordan, than it does in Egypt, than it doesn't, because the spice blends are going to be a little different. And the marinades are going to be a little bit different. So, by the way, for those of you making shawarma at home, you can buy the pre-made spice mix, but please, please, please marinate your chicken in yogurt for 2 days. That is the secret that no one will ever tell you, that a lot of restaurants here skip because it takes too long and yogurt's expensive. But that's what helps break down the chicken and make it so moist. And like people always say, man, your shawarma is so juicy. How do you keep it juicy like that? It's the yogurt. Old school technique.
Wow. You've heard that secret here on BizTalk with DeAndre. Thanks to Chef Omar. Oh, man. So that's what I got to have, the shawarma.
Yes.
I got to try your shawarma.
We do them on batbout, which is a Moroccan pita bread.
I love that bread.
Yeah. So Middle Eastern pita bread, Lebanese, it's super thin, right? And it's a whole wheat pita. And then Palestinians, they do the smaller, thicker pita. And in Morocco, their pita is made with not just flour, but also semolina. And that's what gives that crispy crust on it.
Okay.
But it's a pan-fried pita. It's not an oven-baked pita like the other pitas that you're used to having. Super cool.
Well, no, it's delicious. You use that on the Moroccan meatball sliders.
Yep. Same bread. That's why I'm in there at 3 a.m. every day. See?
3 o'clock in the morning, he's baking bread for us to come in and just... That's what I would have loved to have yesterday with the lamb tagine. Some bread to just...
All you had to do was ask.
I wasn't thinking then when I was reading up on the spices and everything. I'm like, And speaking of that, after reading up on everything, I'm like, I picked out a lot of stuff. Yesterday, I even told you how I had like the olive. I had a slice of olive I tasted and it just flavor popped. Mm-hmm. Then I tasted cilantro. Mm-hmm. And then I learned, too, that when I had that... I had a jalapeno limeade, which at first... Yeah,
where did you get that from?
None other than Saffron Date. At first, I'm like, wait a minute, limeade. Then when I heard jalapeno, it just didn't compute.
Didn't click?
It didn't click. And then once I tasted it, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And then as I ate the meal, it just made the flavors just really come out.
The citrus, yep.
And then at the end, I even bit the jalapeno. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. This is pretty good. I love it. So, yeah. Now, that with the couscous, I've talked to a number of people recently who've heard of couscous, but they've never tried it. I kind of read up on it. Kind of share or explain what couscous is and how it's in the dishes in Moroccan.
Yeah.
Food.
So, most countries have their own vessels for cooking, and most countries have their own methods for cooking. Couscous is one of those things where super, super unique item. It's actually closer to a pasta than it is anything else. Most people think it's closer to rice, but it's actually made with wheat. And what you'll find is, like in the olden days, they used to make couscous by hand, and you had to sit there. Are you
serious?
You could find those little itty bitty pearls, and you'd add more layers and keep making them, them, and do it again. And they sit there by hand. And so when you cook couscous, herein lies the dilemma. Most of the couscous we have in America is instant couscous, just like instant oatmeal, right? You just add the hot water and it swells up and it's done, right?
Right.
How long does it take you to cook real grits?
Oh, real grits?
Yeah.
Oh, what is that, like?
An hour, 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a minute.
They got 5-minute grits.
So most of the couscous we have is instant couscous. Couscous that's technically already been cooked for you, but real couscous goes in what's called a couscousier, which is like this double vein basket thing, and you put your broth in the bottom and your couscous on the top, and the steam actually comes up and slowly penetrates the couscous, and you have to take it out and separate all the granules, put it back in, steam it for another hour, pull it out, separate the granules.
Labor intensive.
Very labor intensive, and a completely different experience from the instant stuff that we're so used to having. But again, really hard to find here in America, real couscous.
Wow. Now, for those who don't know, Morocco is kind of the northern part of Africa, right?
Yes, right on the Mediterranean.
Right on the Mediterranean. So again, you got all the spices back in the spice trade coming in.
Yep.
So now you all have that Moroccan food has flavors and all different kind of spices. But what are some of the main spices that are in?
Oh man,
the food?
Some of the main spices, you're looking at cardamom. You're looking at the main one is saffron, and saffron is really cool. It used to be considered a royalty spice because saffron is actually the most expensive spice in the world.
Oh wow!
It sits at, last time I checked, somewhere between $1,800 and $1,900 a pound.
Whoa!
So saffron is basically these little red threads. You can buy them in tubes at stores for like $10, and you get like 3 or 4 or 5 strands, whatever. So what it is saffron is a flower, and it can't be harvested by machine at all. It has to be harvested manually. So I remember when I was there, it was during saffron harvest, and there would be a bunch of old ladies sitting in a circle, and a guy would come and he'd put a blanket down and open it up, and it'd have a ton of flowers in it, and that was the saffron flower. And each flower has 3 little threads in it, 3 little stamens that you would pull out, and they have to be manually harvested, and then they'd have to be dried, and that's what saffron is. And then from there, of course, there's qualities of saffron, you know, like, oh, this is old, this is new. I did this thing with some diners we had in the restaurant. One of my guests brought me fresh coriander out of their garden, and it was absolutely amazing. So we had some guests in the dining room. We were talking about spices and how things work, and so tell you what, let's play a game just to talk about the quality of spice that you use. And this is something that the Moroccans, the Indians, lots of people are really, really good with spices. I brought them coriander from Restaurant Depot that sits in a bottle, right? I'm like, this coriander has probably been sitting on a shelf for years. It's probably been sitting in this bottle for a year. It has a shelf life of years. Go ahead, take a smell. And they smelled inside it smells like coriander. So then I took the glass jar from my friend that was literally 2 weeks old. I opened up the jar, smell this. And their eyes wide open. Oh my God, the smell's completely different. And so the quality of ingredients that you use, like I said, I can give you the recipe all day, but there's so much that goes into reproducing a dish. And spices are a big part of that. Coriander, cardamom, cumin. Moroccan coffee, has cinnamon in it, has nutmeg in it, has so many different spices in it, and it's so good. We just added it to the menu, but
okay.
But yeah, so Moroccans are very, very good at using spice, and then something else that they picked up from that whole genre of food is putting in sweet with savory. So
Read that.
Some Middle Eastern countries, you'll see they don't put raisins in their rice, or they don't put figs, but the Moroccans are one of the countries that do. They put apricots and figs and dates and all these sweet elements into their dish. So Bastia, which is an amazing dish, it's brick dough, and it's stuffed with eggs and chicken, and it's a savory dish, but then it's dusted with powdered sugar and cinnamon, and so it's everything's about a balance of spice, balance of flavor, balance of sweet and salty and sour and all these cool things.
And that's what I love about, especially the dish I had yesterday, the lamb tagine, where it was layered with different textures and different flavors, and you could pick out those flavors. But again, like the couscous, the little like granular texture, and then the smooth texture, or the vegetables that was in there, then the sliver of almond. Was it almond in there?
Almond. See, and that reaction is what I'm chasing. That's what I'm looking for. I remember the first time I gave my fiance our fried chicken sandwich. And I was like, what did you think? She's like, well, honestly, the first bite I had was like the perfect bite. And every bite after that, I was chasing that first bite of like just enough caramelized honey butter and a little bit of tart from the vinegar and lemon, and then a little bit of the heat from the harissa slaw and the crunch and so like every bite was a little bit different. And she's like, before I knew it, the whole sandwich was gone, and I want another one.
Speaking of that, both sandwiches, I had the fish sandwich and I had the chicken sandwich, and it's like a huge sandwich, but it's flavorful. And after you get through, it's some slaw. What's the name of the slaw?
Harissa slaw.
Harissa slaw. Yep. And after you eat that, it's like you've had a meal. Each time I've been in there, I've been full.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, where normally maybe you go out to the restaurant, you got maybe, your entree, your 2 sides. Here, I just had a sandwich, which was a full meal.
Yep.
And then you guys have some great prices, real reasonable prices.
So a part of our goal And I'll tell you a story about that chicken sandwich. But a part of my goal as a chef, most people are like, oh, you're the new place. You're on the hottest new restaurant list. This is awesome. And you're going to win the James Beard Award and be this guy and that guy. That's not my goal. Again, those aren't things that motivate and drive me. My goal is to be community centric. So long after the newest, coolest thing opens up and all of my clientele is like, oh, I'm going to the new shiny thing. I want to build a community-based restaurant where people can afford to come and eat and have a great meal and give them an option other than, not that there's anything wrong with it, but the Little Caesars and the Wendy's and the fast food that's in my neighborhood, because that's all there is. I had an employee who had some fresh squeezed grape juice that we made one day, and she's like, there's something wrong with these grapes. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, it doesn't taste like grapes. I'm like, so I drank it. I'm like, tastes like grapes. What do you mean? She's like, well, that's not how I remember grapes being. It's too sour. I'm like, what do you... So her idea of what grapes taste like is Faygo grape soda. And she'd never had real grapes.
Wow.
Never in her life. And same thing with, I had one employee who's like, I've never had beets. I'm like, go ahead. We were, just before we did this orange blossom lemonade, we did a beet lemonade. And I had an employee taste it. And they go, chef, something's wrong with the lemonade. I'm like, what's wrong with the lemonade? It tastes like dirt. And I was like, dirt? That's what beets taste like. It's that earthy flavor, right? And they had never had those types of things. And those are the things that I want to immerse my neighborhood and community in. I had a guy come in yesterday. I used to come here all the time when this was O'Quinn's. If you did, soul food, you'd have a line out the door. We can't even pronounce this food. Well, how do you want us to come and eat? But that's the goal, is to get them to come in, try things, fall in love with it. And when I created that chicken sandwich, it was a joke. So for me, when I was in Egypt 2 summers ago, there was this chicken sandwich place in the mall, right? And I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like 3 stacked pieces of fried chicken, onion rings piled up high, coleslaw, sauce drizzled all over it. The thing was literally, it was monstrous. It was this big. And they'd bring you vinyl gloves, and you had to wear gloves while you ate this thing. And I remember seeing the sandwich. I'm like, that thing looks massive. I want one. And I went and I bought one the next day. It was so disappointing. It didn't taste good, but it looked amazing. So when they're like, we need more Americanized dishes for people to experience Moroccan flavors, but that's when I made that chicken sandwich. I made it so outlandish, so like whole piece of chicken, right? And the goal was to make it so big that they would be like, no, this is too much. We can't do this. And I put the caramelized honey butter in, so you get a little bit of sweet. And the marinade has coriander and jalapeno and ginger and all these other things in it. And the slaw has spicy.
Right.
And so the goal was to just make something so outrageous that everyone would be like, no, that's too much. And lo and behold, they freaking loved it. And like, that's going on the menu. I was like, oh, God, what did I just do to myself? So, yeah, that...
Wow. And I think when I had it, it was a little bit after that big Popeye's chicken craze, the chicken sandwich craze, too.
Yeah. So, most of the posts that people made about the chicken sandwich were that this is way better than Popeye's, which, that's... If they said it wasn't, I'd kind of take that as an insult. But, there was a kid in the restaurant yesterday who didn't like the chicken. You can't please everyone.
No.
But you don't let it get you down or put you in a negative space. Again, you got to stay positive, and not everything you make is going to be for everyone.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday as well.
But you want to try to make things that people are going to love and enjoy, and I wanted to introduce the community to these things. Look at Bucharest.
Oh.
I still, to this day, I've owned a food truck for freaking 10 years, and I still, to this day, get people say, what's a shawarma? And I just look at them like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
You live in Detroit and you don't know what a shawarma is?
Yeah, Bucharest took that shawarma and it's just like everywhere now.
And that's not even real shawarma. It's shish kebab because it's grilled on a char grill, right? That's what it's called, Shawarma's cooked on a rotisserie. But they labeled it shawarma. They put some garlic sauce on it. They had those basic elements that people understand and can comprehend. And then they just blew it up to the masses. And everyone's like, oh, Bucharest shawarma is the best shawarma ever. And I'm like, well... It's not shawarma, but that's good. That exposure is great. It gets people involved, right? And now people can try my shawarma And, you know, my business partner said to me last month, I think, she's like, you know, you ruined Middle Eastern food for me. I was like, why? She's like, it doesn't taste as good when I eat out at other places. I'm like, it's not that. You're used to eating my version, which is, you know, very Egyptian and Palestinian in essence. And everybody else is doing it Lebanese and Syrian and those types of styles. The spices are different. You just don't. That's why your mom's mac and cheese, there's certain dishes my mom makes. No one on earth, I don't care how good it is ever going to make it better, because that's what I grew up with. It's that comfort and that feeling and
mom
that
made
love
too. Yeah,
exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
Now you mentioned too Egypt, and then you got Morocco up here. So how did you come up or the Moroccan food?
So again, it was one of those things where, you know, we were doing research, and I wanted to use my French background, but I still wanted to do those Arabic flavors, and Morocco was the perfect country for that. Whereas Egypt, again, would put me into that boat of the Middle East, and, oh, you're doing Middle Eastern food.
Gotcha.
And then, you know, there's all those stigmas with being Middle Eastern, so they don't even say their food is Middle Eastern. They go, oh, it's Mediterranean, right?
I see that a lot.
Yep. So because they're afraid of it's that fear that comes with, instead of being proud and be like, this is Palestinian food, this is Lebanese food, this is Syrian food.
Wow.
And that education, again, is what I'm shooting for. And so as a chef who has a prominent background and comes from fine dining, and people want to try my food, and and I have a voice, it's my responsibility to use that voice to educate the public and teach them.
I like that. Now, piggybacking off of that, you know, a chef, fine dining you've done. Why did you choose Detroit, or east side of Detroit?
So we used to be, it's funny, when Andy Holliday bought the building that is now Selden Standard in Midtown,
okay,
everyone told him he was nuts.
Oh, really?
You bought a building in Midtown? There was nothing over there at the time, right?
Oh, you're right.
Their renovation took 2 years.
You're right.
So everyone's like, you bought a building in Midtown? Are you crazy? Look at Midtown now, right?
Man.
My area is not an area of focus for, you know, the city for redevelopment, or it's not an up-and-coming area, and it's not and I bought that building, and, you know, you affect the change you want to see. Don't blame other people for your community not being great. Make your community great,
I like
right?
that.
So we put in the work. You see, like, our building is constantly ever evolving, and, you know, I don't have huge budgets, right? I don't have $1 million to do everything all at once, but, you know, the inside we did a little by little, and now we're working on the outside little by little. And every time you come to the building, you notice something new, right? Something fresh, something like, oh wow, that looks really cool, you know? And so that is what we're doing. Now there's a new barber shop that just opened up across the street. See, it got cleaned up and faded up. Yeah, so we affect the change that we want to see in our community, right? So when I bought the building, everyone said I was nuts. You bought a building in the hood on the east side? What is wrong with you? And those same people now come to my restaurant and go, oh, you're right next to Indian Village and Hamtramck, and on the way to Grosse Pointe and St. Clair Shores. You know, we just take Gratiot. I took Gratiot all the way back. Yeah. And so now all of a sudden my insanity became a genius move, right? And so I'd like to say that I was a genius when I did it on purpose, and I didn't. You know, it was one of those things where this is what my budget will allow me to do. What can I afford? This is a good location for me. At the time, we were a permanent vendor at Eastern Market, you know, close to Eastern Market, close to downtown. We were doing Campus Martius a lot back then. And so that was 99% of the trucks that say they're Detroit, they're not Detroit. They're stationed in Madison Heights and in the burbs. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But, you know, when I say we are a Detroit business, we pay Detroit taxes. We do, you know, we are in the city of Detroit, and we are a part of that. And that's important to me. You know, people are like, oh, Detroit's coming back. I'm like, it is, but what are you doing to help with that, right? I'm sitting in a neighborhood that nobody cares about. There's this really cool neighborhood by the Muslim Center on Davison and M10. That whole neighborhood was scheduled to be demolished. Completely demolished. And Dream Detroit and a bunch of other nonprofits came and said, no, we can save this neighborhood. And they've slowly built up house by house. Is that area being looked at by anyone on earth to be, a redevelopment area? No, they're not. But people that care, the people of that neighborhood, are making that neighborhood something special. And that's what if we talk about, oh, this area is getting gentrified and people are getting kicked out of their homes, make your area special and no one's going to be able to kick you out of your own home.
You are the change. You be the change. Come up with solutions.
That's right.
We talked about earlier.
That's right.
All right, we're about to close. We got a few more minutes. I just wanted you to share with the audience. Just give what's been one of your biggest challenges, and what's one of your biggest successes.
Man, challenges. You heard today's story alone. Owning a business is a challenge every day when you wake up, and it's a challenge every day when you go to bed. And there's always obstacles, and there's always. I'll tell you guys a quick story. Today I get a phone call while I'm on the food truck. Chef, all the diners are locked in the dining room. I'm like, what do you mean locked in the dining room? Well, this guy left and the door shut really hard, and now the door won't open. So when he slammed the door shut, and he didn't do it on purpose, but the latch broke off inside of while the door was closed. So now the door latch won't move anymore. And so, these are the challenges you go through. We've had challenges with the city, which you've heard about those. We've had challenges with, money, new furnace, new roof, new plumbing, new electrical, new this, new that. But those are the things you go through. Exactly. And you just keep finding solutions and making things work and doing what you have to do to make things go. Some of the greatest...
Yeah, let's smile now.
Smile. Some of the greatest success is meeting people like you that come into the restaurant, they have a dish, and there are people in the neighborhood that come in 3 or 4 times a week. These are people that never had Middle Eastern food in their life, never had African food in their life, and now they get to experience these things and they love it. And I get to see them all the time. And I'm building those relationships, and it's absolutely amazing. When your business is a part of a community, it's completely different. Like, there are restaurants that got robbed or burned down or this or that. None of that stuff happens to me because the community is like, don't you dare go anywhere near that place. That's our place. That's where we go. And that is the key to success, is being a part of your community.
And like you said, sharing that food. And usually, especially in the urban areas, there are a lot of fast food restaurants, or if it's at a liquor store or whatever, it's some fried food and everything. But here you have an opportunity now to patronize your restaurant, to inquire about what's on the menu, eat a healthier food.
That's right. Fresh squeezed lemonade with orange blossom, fresh squeezed limeade, the sodas that we make in-house from scratch every month.
Oh, I haven't had that. Okay.
They change every month, yeah. Okay. So, these are all things that we're just trying to make food accessible, make it a discovery. Like, we have those specials every day, right? People come in, what's the special today? Right. Even you called to, wait, what's the special over there today, right? So, those experiences, we do a Moroccan coney that's killer. I'm going to do that this Friday. Come out and have a Moroccan coney this Friday. We make our own coney chili in-house. Our restaurant's halal, too, for those people that eat halal.
What about vegan?
We have lots of vegan options. There's always vegan options. The bat boot, that pita bread we were just talking about is vegan. The cauliflower bat boot's killer. The jackfruit tagine is killer. The options are endless.
Wow. Tell them again, Friday, where are you located?
Friday, 7636 Gratiot Avenue, on Gratiot, just before you hit Van Dyke. If you're coming from downtown, it'll be on your right-hand side. Kind of easy to miss. We're across the street from a dollar store and a Little Caesars, just plaza after a Chase Bank. Yep, in a little plaza.
Yeah, you'll see food trucks in front. So you'll see it might be hidden back there, but you don't want to miss going in there. Try what we call them, what kind of sliders, or no? Conies. What kind of
conies? The Moroccan conies. Yep. Conies. So we make our own mustard with fig. Call it figgy mustard.
Figgy mustard.
Yeah. You know what I'm alluding to.
I love it. Man, so real quick, like I said, we got that out the way. Wanted to give a shout out to our sponsors. Make sure you go ahead and give them a call. If you're looking for a coach, as far as a life coach, you want to do it in group sessions, or if you got a business, you're looking for a consultant, give Monica Marie Jones a call. You can check her out on all the Facebook platform, all the social media platform. I think I said Facebook, Instagram. Check her out, Monica Marie Jones. another sponsor for BizTalk with DeAndre. And definitely, if you're looking for life insurance, you're looking for auto insurance, commercial insurance for your business, give a call to Tracy Denson Scott. It's Tracy Denson Insurance Agency. She's located at 28055 John R. in Madison Heights, and the phone number is 248-544-2542. Another sponsor of BizTalk with DeAndre. Want to definitely give her a call. She's the insurance lady that cares. And she, on her Facebook page, she gives a lot of tips, free tips that everybody can use.
Do you know who the two most important people to a business are?
Tell them.
Your lawyer and your insurance agent. You would not believe how much trouble I would have gotten into. I tried to save some money on my insurance, and my insurance agent, she's a godsend. She came back and she was like, Omar, there's a hole in your coverage. There's a hole in your coverage. There's a hole in your coverage. You're trying to save $30 a month, and now you've lost. Like, if this happens or this happens or this happens, you're not covered in any way, shape, or form. So make sure you have a really good insurance agent.
Hey, and there's one for you. Tracy Denson Insurance Agency at 248-544-2542. You can also catch her on Facebook, Instagram as well. Yeah, you told me about that. We were talking about the insurance there, even with the delivery services and everything.
Yep.
The insurance agency gave you some information on that.
That's right.
Wow. Well, I've enjoyed talking here with none other than Chef Omar. Matter of fact, pronounce your last name.
Anani.
Oh, Anani.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess it up. I looked at it. I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to mess that up.
Just like it sounds.
Anani.
Just like it sounds. Anani.
Wow. Well, it's about that time, and we got Mr. Ray Hurd, my former supervisor, is watching. We got Ray Keckley, Rio Cadet, Wesley Johnson. Oh, that's my man there. I got to give you a call, Wesley. Pamela Colvin and Sonia Burks, Tanya Cunningham. Oh, that's my cousin there. Delphine Drake. Matter of fact, she opened up a restaurant in Warren. So you got to check
what's
out.
it called?
I believe it's Delphine's Jamaican Restaurant in Warren.
I love Jamaican food.
Jamaican restaurant. You got to check her out. Man, so a lot of folks on here on the feed.
Awesome.
Yeah. Danita Satcher, she's calling in. Oh, man, I think she's down in Florida now. Huh? Hey, Danita. Yeah, man. So
send us some good weather.
Oh, we need it. We need it. We
Yes.
need some good weather. Oh, man. Well, this is another show that's in the record books. BizTalk with DeAndre.
And Omar.
Special guest, Chef Omar of Saffron Date. And so, with that being said, we're going to catch you next Wednesday, same place, same time, 6 p.m. Share the broadcast. Write it down. And do those affirmations. So, may God continue to bless you. Till next time, take care. Take charge. Love ya.
You are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.